Hey everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today we're going to be bringing you a review for Farts and Fairies, an outrageously epic card game for the survival of the fartist. Can you survive the fart battle? Let's take a look at how the game works. We'll be right back with our review. Farts and Fairies comes in a little brown box that has some pretty fun artwork on the cover. It's got the different types of farts represented well on the front here, which is pretty great. The other thing that we like on the front cover talks about is for every game sold, 1 for 1, we donate to a child in the hospital. And we're very excited about that. Very glad to be doing this review to hopefully gain some interest in this game. It's actually pretty fun too. So we'll talk about all of that in a minute though. So Farts and Fairies is a high octane, totally out of control fart battle. To win, you must outfart your friends by launching and dodging fart attacks to become the survivor of the fartist. Now, the game itself is just a whole bunch of cards, and it comes with this nice little insert here that holds the cards pretty well, but it can also be used in the middle of the table for the draw pile as well as the discard pile. So, nice construction. Got the different types of farts around the edge of the trim as well on the inside box, and then again, just white in the inside. So, nice box, nice little insert. Definitely enjoying that. The rule book is just a little quick fold-out sheet. It talks about how to play. To start, you shuffle the deck and deal 8 cards to each player, and then each player will take a turn. So action 1, you're going to draw a card from the deck, and then action 2, you can play a card, or you can draw another card. And when your turn ends, you discard down to 8. You've got your fart cards, so let's talk about the fart cards real quick. On your turn, you can play one of these cards towards any player that you want. The number of the fart value is in the top left corner. And this is the score that you do not want to have. So when you get farted on, this kind of go out in front of you and show the value, the fart points that you have, and you definitely don't want fart points at all. To win the game, you have to be the player with the least amount of fart points. Any cards in your hand at the end of the game count against you as well. So you definitely don't want farts in your hand or out on the table in front of you. So you've got the Fartesian Cheese. Okay, you've got the Da Vinci the Fartist. You got the Fartichoke, the Granny Fart, the Renee de Fartes, Radioactive Farticle, Queen of Farts, Rainbow Fart, Fart of Christmas, Tea Farty, Fartosaurus, Tour de Fart, Princess Fart, Jar of Yeti Farts, a Brain Fart, and the Horse and Fart. So there are 16 of these different fart cards, and again, these are the main way that you are going to be battling your opponents. Okay. Next cards that's going to show in here are the survivor cards. Now there are a plethora of these survivor cards. I mean, a whole pile of them. However, there are only 2 different types. One is going to be a divert, so you can use ninja skills and divert a fart to any player. So you can divert this to somebody else around the table. And then they have to deal with it either by playing another divert or reversing it, send the fart straight back to where it came, not from the original person, but to the person that diverted it to you. So kind of can go back and forth. But again, there are a plethora of these in here. So this is what, when I first saw this, I was like, man, there's not as much farts. I'd rather have more farts and less of these divert cards so more go through. But this is actually what makes the game fun, because you're bouncing farts back and forth. And, people are throwing down multiple different diversions and everything, diverts and reverses. Well, the problem is when you're playing and you run out of these cards, somebody's going to know that you run out of a divert card because, you're the one who's defending somebody else's turn. Well, they're going to throw that fart at you. So you really don't want to always play your full hand of survivor cards either, especially if the fart card is a low value like a 1. But if it's a 4, you definitely want to try to block that. So got to be careful about when and how you use these fart cards. Now, those aren't the only ways that you can block farts coming at you. You've got the Fairy Dust, which is the Toot Fairy. You can use the magic of Fart Fairy Dust as any card. So this card can literally be worth anything at the end of the game. Then also you have the Fart Police. The Fart Police have your bum covered against any card. So you can kind of just block any card that is being played against you. Now you notice this little 5 at the top. When this is used as a fart, it has a value of 5. So it's just kind of because you can use this as a fart playing on somebody else. And there is a couple of these. There's 5 and 5, so 10 total of these pink cards. So you're not going to see a bunch of these in your own hand, but if you do, you're well protected. The next thing you have on here is the action cards. Now, there are several of these. There's two of actually each of these. So there's the bomb, the fart atomic bomb. You can send one of your fart bank cards to another fart bank. That's the cards that are out in front of you. You've got the occupied, do not disturb. You can place on any player and skip their turn for 1 round. You've got the zombie attack, steal a random card from any player. You've got the swap your hand with any other player. This is great if you only have maybe 1 card in your hand and see somebody else has a whole bunch. But again, you got to be careful. For every fart card, again, they have in their hand at the end of the game, it's going to count against you. So you definitely want to do this at the right moment, not necessarily at the end of the game. You got beans. You got the baked beans here. Discard your hand and reload with the same number of cards. If you don't like what you have, you can discard basically your hand and draw fresh. You got number 2s, Doggy Turburger. Pick up 2 cards from the deck. That's always nice to be able to draw if you're getting low. Protection. Protect yourself from farts until your next turn. So this goes out in front of you, and it's just basically you can't get farted against, which is always pretty good. And then again, you've got the same thing. So there's 2 of each. How to win, again, at the end of the game, the player with the least amount of fart points in their fart bank is crowned the survivor of the fartist. So, again, the game ends when the draw deck is empty. So you're going to take all of these cards. You're going to give them a great shuffle, again, dealing 8 to each player. And then the game begins, and that is how you play Farts and Fairies. Now, one thing that we are going to talk about, but we're not going to go through the cards themselves, is there is an expansion called Farts and Fairies Adults Only. So this game is great for children of all ages, especially the young ones. If you're going to play with these cards in this adults only expansion, I cannot preface enough that this is an adults only expansion. Do not allow your young children to be able to play with this expansion. It is definitely not something for little ones to even be able to see some of the pictures. So we will not be going over this on the video. So just want to make sure you know that there is an expansion. There are some good cards and some funny things in here, but definitely not something you want your little ones, 10, 11, 12, to be able to play. This game does play ages 8 and up. 20 minutes is about right, and 2 to 6 players. So just keep that in mind for the adults only expansion. So Farts and Fairies is actually a really fun card game that I actually had a lot of fun playing. You definitely need the right group when you do play this one, though. If your group doesn't appreciate a good fart joke, it's probably not going to go over well. The game really shines when you play it with more people. Playing it 2 or 3, it doesn't really hit its sweet spot. I recommend this game with 5 or 6 players. When you're playing with younger kids as well, I think that's also a better time. I think they kind of get the fart jokes just a little bit more and appreciate those more as you as your younger age. But it was a lot of fun. I played this with Eric, who does the video reviews for our video games, and we had a lot of fun playing it. And that's actually the first time I played it with 2. Then I got a chance to play it with 3, and then I got a chance to play it with 5, and then I got a chance to play it with 6. And man, it got better and better and better each time I played it. Now, also talking to Eric, he talked about playing it with his 2 young girls, and he says it's one of their favorite games, that they love playing it, and they ask to play it all the time. So it obviously, take that for what it is. You've got to really have that mindset of, having just a fun, laughing at fart things mindset, and I think you're going to have a blast with it. The card quality is great with the linen finish. I like the fact that there are, with the 16 different farts, I like that each fart is different. I kind of wish there was maybe some sort of like little power with the farts, maybe something to just throw in a little bit of flavor and twist, and flavor probably a bad word in that. But the game itself is an absolute blast to play. It reminds me a lot, for whatever reason, when I was playing it, I just kept thinking this is like just a battling version of Uno. Yeah, I guess in a way. I mean, you've got the reverse cards, you've got the number cards. I don't know why specifically. I just kept thinking a battling version of Uno. But it was so simple to play, so simple to get into, and that's why I think, honestly, as long as the children know what the cards do, and don't have to ask you every time, you can play this with younger than 8. So again, the biggest thing that I can't stress enough for that, the adults only expansion, don't play that with your children. That is going to be for your older adult gaming group, or maybe your 20-year-olds. It maybe as a fun gift. This game is fun. It's definitely a light filler game. It's not something we would bust out every single time we get together. But, if I've got a group of people and we're having just a fun, great time, we're trying to decide what game to play next, or we're in a lull or whatever, this would be a game I'd bust out with them. But again, you've got to be in that right mindset. If you're just with a group of serious gamers who want tactical decision making and not just a raunchy, fun, good time, this is not the game for that group. It is fun. Again, I keep saying that word because it is fun. I mean, that's really the best way to describe this. It's just a fun throw them back and forth. I'm going to throw some cards down and just play. There's not too much tactical decision making in it. I guess more maybe towards the end, when to play those divert cards and when to play the certain action cards, to know, say, hey, I got to make sure. That's really the main tactical decision making, is when really to use your survival cards. But I think this is a game that everyone should play at least one time. And I think, for a brand new card game from a brand new company, I think you guys did a great job, and I am very happy. I'm excited to see how this game grows and blows up on social media or Facebook and Kickstarter. So I think it's going to do an absolute killing. For the theme is fun, the artwork is fun. I think it's amazing that each copy, they're going to send a copy for each game sold. They're going to send a copy to a child in the hospital, and I think that's what children in hospitals need, is a laugh. And this game definitely brings the laughs. But again, you've got to have that right group, or you've got to have children playing of younger ages that are really going to laugh at the funny fart jokes. So if you're a child at heart or have children in the family, definitely get this game. I can't recommend this one enough for families and lighthearted people. This is an absolute blast, and one that you can't miss out on. So, all right, everyone, this has been Will from Mature Minded Gamers talking to you about farts and fairies. Be sure to check out all of our other great content on maturemindedgamers.com. Hit that subscribe and like button. We would love to have you join us on our Discord as well. But until next time, everyone stay safe and take care.